think we're live. Possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're live. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're live.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're live.
See if we can get more live. Can we get liver?
See if we can get more live.
That's not as live as I'd hope to be, but as live as we're gonna get. All right.
That's not as live as I
Must be Sunday again.
As live as we're gonna get.
See if we can get the
Sunday again.
TV on the kitchen TV here real quick. The TV. Let's see if I can get the interweb on the kitchen TV. It's a wild world we live in where I can stream from my kitchen, have the stream show up on my tablet, and have my tablet go to my kitchen TV. Is that? I suppose. Well, whatever. All right. Well. Oh, that's right. We're gonna do a little pre-coffee. Got some juiced oranges here. This is from Florida, allegedly. Let's learn about it. It's farmer owned in the USA, so it's owned by USA people. Let's see where it says where it comes from. Shake well, use it in 7 to 10 days. Scan the bar. Premium blend of orange juices from Florida grows and the world's premier. And the world. Okay, we got a little bit of world orange juice here. No sugar. It's a low calorie. Mexico, Brazil, and Florida. Oh man. Farmer owned though in the USA. I wonder why they don't put that big Mexico and Brazil on the front of that. That's weird. But I mean, an orange is an orange, right? Does it matter where your orange was grown? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm not charging any of that. I'm just a casual observer. I don't know if you go bubbles first or bubbles last. Let's go bubbles first. Something I learned is like the top like quarter of one of these kind of glasses holds more than the bottom 2/3 does. Did you know that? Or 3/4, sorry. Still bubbling. That's fancy. The mustache strainer strikes again. We will top that off as we go throughout the morning. I know it's weird, 7-Up for breakfast, but like, I don't do champagne, so. It's a mimosa, kids. I mean, whatever. Why is there just water? Well, sorry. Why is there what I hope is just water everywhere right here? Alright. Well, I got excited for French toast and I realized I don't have any milk, so I got heavy whipping cream today. Because I looked at my expiration date on my heavy whipping cream and I realized it was going to come due sooner than my half and half, so we'll start in on the heavy whipping cream. I like the heavy whipping cream in my coffee though, man. I tell you what. Like, slippery slope. We're going to try it in the French toast. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It turns out delicious. Trying those babies. The good life. Those glasses are fun. All right, what's on today's docket? I'm not sure who ends up watching these videos. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but man, I heard some good ones this week. And if you were one of the people I'm about to talk about, I'm not telling the story to hurt your feelings. It was just funny. Just a funny story. So So I was hanging out the other day online with some online friends, and somehow I don't know how it came. I get the water for 1 second. Don't hurt my feelings. I could probably hurt your feelings. wasn't gonna tell that story, but like I don't play with the same group of people every night on my video game online. So like I miss stuff, you know. Like when I'm with a different group, I miss what the one group's talking about. So I was logged in like was it 2 days ago, and someone brought up there's a girl that's in our group. And she was complaining about how she couldn't get she was having problems with her food getting delivered or something. I can't remember what it was, but like, somebody ended up saying, "Hey, did you ever get your sandwich? Did you ever eat your food?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, it ended up showing up eventually." And like, she was just kind of like, "Oh, they didn't do it right. I asked them to cut the sandwich, and I asked for onions, and they didn't do the onions. I just ended up not eating it. It wasn't appetizing to her." And like half the group. Well, not half. Let's just put it this way. The members of the group that were females were all like, "Yeah, I feel you. Like sometimes you just don't feel like eating it when it isn't the way you want it." And everyone that wasn't one was like, "Yeah, I'd still eat it. It's a sandwich. Like, what are you talking about, lady? Like, come on now." So we started talking about this sandwich thing, and it was like, she's like, "It was just a Jimmy John's." And it's like, "Whoa, Jimmy John's? Like Jimmy John's messed your sandwich order up? Like they didn't cut your sandwich?" She's like, "No, they didn't." So I was like, "Didn't you just think to yourself, I'll just get a knife and cut it?" And she was like, "I never thought of that." And I was like, "What?" You ordered your sandwich cut, and they didn't cut your sandwich, and your first thought wasn't, "Man, I wish my sandwich was cut. I better get a knife." No, that didn't happen. It's like, all right. So we all laughed about that, and then turns out it was a $16 sandwich, and everyone's like, "Whoa, $16 sandwich?" Like, apparently that's what sandwiches cost now, is $16. And I was like, "Dude, I told her, I would eat the rest of your sandwich that you ordered yesterday. I would eat that today. Like right now. If you were like, show up to my house and you had the leftovers of your $16 sandwich without onions that wasn't cut yesterday, I'd eat the rest of it." And everyone just started laughing. And then someone else, another female, was like, she's like, "Sometimes when I'm mad at my boyfriend and I wanna like, you know, punish him and like show him like, you know, what's what, I'll just make him a peanut butter jelly sandwich for dinner." And I was like, "Let me guess, you make the peanut butter jelly sandwich to prove a point to him, and you hand it to him, and he probably looks at you and says thank you, and he probably eats it, and he's probably happy." And she's like, "Well, actually, yeah. Now that you mention it, he did. Yeah." It's like, I was like, "You're not hurting that dude's feelings. Like, showing it with a peanut butter jelly sandwich to punish somebody, that's not a very good punishment. I'm just letting you know that right now." Like, now if you did that every single day, yeah, I mean, after like a week, you'd probably get like, "Can we get something besides peanut butter and jelly around here?" It just blows my mind. I was like, I was like, if you think you're like punishing somebody by making them a peanut butter jelly sandwich, I got news for you. You either don't know what punishment is, or you don't know, like, unless you're allergic to peanuts, like that'd be the only way. If they're allergic to peanuts and you give them a peanut butter jelly sandwich, yeah, that's a torture. But like, oh my god. And once again, all the females couldn't understand it, and all the males just laughed. And I was like, "Does anybody else wish they had a peanut butter jelly sandwich right now?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, I'd take one." So now anytime that girl gets mad, I was like, "Watch out, she's mad. She's gonna make you a peanut butter jelly sandwich." Oh, that shit just cracked me up, dude. I just never in my life. It's like, oh. I didn't get the onions on my sandwich, so I didn't eat it. It's like, oh my god, how could you? No onions? Oh my god. Throw that thing in the trash. "Did you get a knife and cut your own sandwich?" "No, I ordered it cut. They didn't cut it." And I was like, oh my god, that's terrible. Could you imagine ordering a sandwich and asking it for it to be cut and then just like it didn't come cut? Like, how would you? Yeah, take that. Take that. And she's like, "Yeah, but I usually cook hot meals for him. So like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that's barely even feeding him." And I was like, I mean, you obviously don't know what it is to be a man. Like, oh my god, did you bring him a cold drink too? Oh. Did you put chips on the side? I tried to make an analogy. I was like, was like, that's like someone getting mad at you giving you an orange, but like just a orange. It's like, yeah, take that. You got to peel your own orange. And it's like, well, if they're really mad, or if they're kind of mad at you, maybe they just cut it in half, and you got to figure out the rest yourself. Or if they're not quite as mad at you, they cut it in like 4 pieces. And if you're not quite as mad, they cut it in like, that's how like, count the number of cuts. And someone's like, are you like a psychopath? You cut your oranges up? That they're like, they come apart in sections, right? And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about a peeled orange. I'm talking about an orange with the skin on. And they're like, what? You eat an orange with the skin on? And I was like, well, no. Like typically, what I do is I cut an orange in half, and I make like 4 slices. Like half makes 2, then 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, 4 cut. You get like, it turns out to be almost 5 pieces sometimes, depending on how you do the 4 cuts. And then you have little boats, and then you can take them depending on the orange. Some oranges don't cooperate enough, but you can typically take the pointy part of the boat, put your thumb on it, and you can bend it backwards like you're snapping it, and it'll just pop right out of the thing. Some oranges won't do that. They'll resist. That's fine. And I was like, whoa, dude, you're weird. I was like, you think someone sit there and peel a fucking orange? Like, give me a break, dude. I got shit to do. Like, sit there and peeling oranges all day. Take that! Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I just thought it was funny. And even after like the whole group was laughing at this girl for punishing her boyfriend for making him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like she still didn't quite get it, I don't think. Like truly. She truly felt like she was being mean. Like it was a mean thing to do. And then someone's finally like, what would have been mean was make your own fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's that's mean. I put way too much vanilla in there. Holy shit. What am I doing? I'm laughing about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's just like, oh, I showed him. It's like, okay. That's great. That is fucking great. Oh, God, that's too much. I laughed so hard. All right, the next story. Oh, this is a good one, too. This is true. And I'm not going to name names. But, a guy that I play video games with went to I don't even think I'm going to name the name of the college, but he went to a college football game over the weekend with with one of his relatives. And they're sitting there watching the thing, and my general impression of this individual was like he wouldn't go to a college football game on his own, but like I think he went with his dad, and his dad wanted to go, so he went. Anyways, they're sitting there at halftime, and I'm not even gonna judge any of this. I'm just gonna report the story like I heard it accurately. What he said was, we were sitting there at halftime, and they started doing this program at halftime, and part of it was like celebrating diversity, equality, and equity, something blah 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 blah. And they were giving awards out. And he's like, they started doing that shit. I just started booing. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was the only one in the crowd just going boo. And I was like, you just booed equality? I never laughed so goddamn hard in my entire life, dude. Dude just goes to a college football game and boos equality and diversity. And I was like, yeah, comments have been disabled. Well, yeah, actually, pretty much. The comments have been pretty good so far. We'll see how that goes. But I just like never laughed so fucking hard in my life as a dude was like, he was like, fuck that shit. And then, of course, the joke for the rest of the night was just, oops, I just filmed me doing nothing. The joke for the rest of the night was just like every time he would do something, we would boo him. Like he was running crown, he'd make a call, we just boo that shit. Like, boo! Terrible call, bad idea. Like, oh god. Sometimes I think the internet is the worst shit ever, and other times it's like, how did the world work without the internet? It's so much fun. Like the shit that I hear hanging out with these random people sometimes is just the funniest in the world. Whatever. Boo! Makes you want to just start booing everything. Just boo! 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 My mimosa's empty. Boo! Oh, what do we got here? Jeremy, hey, how's it going, bud? How's your grandma doing, man? Hope she's okay. Usually, grandma goes to the hospital stories aren't great, but hopefully that's working out. I mean, my grandma went to the hospital a few times, so best of luck. Don't go to the hospital and start booing people. Boo! Good, all right, good to hear. Oops, I left. I gotta go back over here. Well, unfortunately, my delicious fancy drink is needing refreshed here, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Orange juice. Boo! Oh, wait, I'm doing it backwards. I was supposed to put the bubbles in first, I think. Now, I wonder if orange juice would sell as good if it was owned by foreign owners, but made with only American oranges. Would it be as good? Oh, man. Those bubbles bring the bubbles. The dog just fell over. You all right in there, dog? Oh, God. Bernie woke up at the crack of dawn and was like, I want to go outside. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that's the rule. The dog wants to go out, the dog goes out. Let the dog out, fell back asleep. Then the rain came. I was like, I woke up like, oh, it's raining. And I was like, oh, wait, the dog's outside. I go out and my poor dog just sitting out in the rain, just like literally 100% soaked to the bone. Like the most wet a dog can get. My poor dog's out there just like looking at me. He's like, can I come in? And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess. Come on in, doggy. The old wet dog syndrome. Pour it out. It was made wrong. You're talking about my orange juice? Oh, my mimosa. You did it wrong? Well, I don't even know if I did it wrong. I mean, I might have done it right the second time. I may have done it wrong the first time. I probably did it wrong both times. I don't even know if that... I never understood how that worked. The doing it wrong. I might be doing it wrong, but I'm still doing it. Oh, man. So, I mean, what else is going on? My front yard disaster is literally still happening. I've pretty much given up. I'm not saying I've been defeated, I just don't see the point. It's like go find a big brick wall and scream at a brick wall and see how that works. Like scream at a brick wall for like 2 months and just... But the brick wall will send you emails assuring you that everything's going to be okay, right? And occasionally the brick wall will show up in your front yard and have a conversation with you promising things. And it's about the same. It's pretty much the same thing. Like I came home the other day and over here. It's like putting the cereal in the bowl first. I'm not sure how that works. Like, I kind of think the cereal in the bowl before the milk is kind of how like most people do it. I don't do it that way. I definitely put the milk in first. But I like extra milk in my cereal. It's kind of weirdo. Like I feel like when I'm eating cereal, I'm having a glass of milk and a bowl of cereal. I like a lot of milk. And then, like, oddly enough, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure the girl who thinks that making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for someone that they live with is punishment is the same person that thinks that only a psychopath would take a glass and pour milk into the glass to the top and then just drink it. Psychopath. I was like, whoa, I might be a psychopath. I do that all the time. How about that? How great is that? If you drink moo juice, that's juice from a moo, you might be a psychopath, according to a person that thinks peanut butter jelly sandwich making is for punishment. She's a nice girl, though. That's like putting cereal in the bowl first. That's like wiping your butt before you poop. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's supposed to be bubbles first? Am I getting that right? Put the bubbles in first, and then top it off with the flavor? I mean, I want to do a video on I've seen these videos where people, like, fill the cup. I can't really tip it, so you can see. You fill it to there, and you put the same amount. From there to there is the same amount as from there to there. It's got to do with the triangle shape of the geometry of the container. Some sort of math involved there. Not totally sure what that math is, but something to do with that. All right. I really don't want to burn my French toast. I think I burned it last time. Definitely didn't burn it that time. Let's get the French toast making supplies out. Got the dangerously needing cleaned maple syrup container. I'm going to try not to film too much of that. That's a little sketchy. All right, what else is good? What else is good? I'm gonna punish you. Boo! You made me put in for a dress sandwich. Boo! Whatever. What else is going on in the world that's amazing? Nothing too great. Something ain't working right on that French toast. Is not. Did I forget to do something? Some salt in there, maybe. That's probably what I forgot to do. I should put a little salt in it, just for a little flavor. Something good for your helps your brain work or something. Is that what salt does? Electrolytes. Oh well. I'm trying to think what else is great. So the cinnamon, yeah, no, that's a version of the French toast that I know a lot of people do. I don't care for the cinnamon in my French toast for some reason. I don't know what it is about it. I love me a cinnamon roll. I love like whatever you call it, Big Red cinnamon gum. I'm sure I've talked about this before, but like I never realized this. But like cinnamon and the ability to enjoy cinnamon is kind of a cultural thing. Like not everybody is down with cinnamon. Very much along the same lines as black licorice. Like if you gave me a piece of black licorice and said, hey, you want a delicious piece of black licorice? I would throw that shit in the creek instantly. I would never eat that garbage. Whereas some people think it's delicious. So like, I mean, I learned this living in Denmark because I love Big Red. I think is what it's Big Red. Is that? God, is my brain broken? Cinnamon gum, Big Red. Does that sound right? Big Red. Big Red. Anyways, I used to eat cinnamon gum when I was younger. Thought it was great. And when I went overseas for that year as an exchange student, I brought Big Red with me, and then I would be like, "Hey, who wants a piece of cinnamon gum?" And people are like, "What?" Like, so in Denmark, what cinnamon's called kanel. Like kind of like kneeling, but kanel. That's how you say cinnamon. And I'm like, "Yeah, cinnamon," and they like put it in their mouth because they don't like not everybody knew the word kanel was cinnamon. It's like, oh, the weird American person's got American candy. Yeah, I want a piece of that. And then like I give it to them, they throw it in their mouth. Like I can't count the number of times I watched human beings spit my candy right on the floor. Like it was like I gave a dog turd. Yeah. Black licorice would be here's what's for your black licorice? Well, I guess I'll starve. Yeah. But so then in Denmark, they are not down with cinnamon. They don't like that shit. I mean, there was a few that would eat it, just kind of like there's a few weirdos that'll eat black licorice candy. So like, we got cinnamon flavored liquor here, right? Like, what the hell was it called? Had the crystals in the bottom. I think it tasted like cinnamon. Well, over there they had a black licorice liquor. It was called Black Pig. Sotsvin. Oh God. That shit was terrible. I had a terrible experience with Sortsveen. Sortsveen? Yeah, Black Pig. Drank way too much of it one night. Got way too hammered. I don't even like black licorice, but like that's what everybody was drinking. So you know, you're trying to be in with the crowd, right? Oh my god, terrible shit. What the hell was that cinnamon flavored liquor? There's like another one. It's like there's like a cream liquor that tastes like the milk from the bottom of the bowl after you eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Well, so that's weird. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has cinnamon in it. I'll eat that. I don't know, something about this kind of French toast. I don't really like the cinnamon. Here's me, Fireball. There you go. Fireball. Get your fireball going. Yum, yum, yum. I'm trying to think the other one is like, comes in a white bottle. Last time I drank that was like golfing. Someone brought a bottle. We're all taking swigs off the bottle of like cinnamon flavored Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk. Whatever. All right, so what else is going on in the world? Try to tell positive, fun stories. So like my old dog, you know, she's her movements are getting slow. But man, I swear to God, the other day I let her out. She saw a squirrel on the buckeye tree. That's like the tree directly in front of the front door. I didn't think the old gal had it in her, man. She put it in low gear and just launched it. She jumped out the front door over the, like, woo! I didn't think she had it in her. Definitely didn't catch the squirrel. And I think the output was more than she was able to do because, like, the rest of the day she was barely doing it. She gave it one last go on it, on the old, I'm gonna catch that squirrel. And I think the squirrel figured it out, so now the squirrel just sits there and looks at her, like, the squirrel just sits on the ground, look at her, like, you ain't gonna eat me. You ain't got it. What does that say? I had couscous. What, you on a diet or something? You hippie? You talking about the grain? The African grain couscous? You put some twigs in there and some grass clippings too? Like, what'd you put with your couscous? That's what I'll tell you about couscous. That shit is gross. Yeah, it's like rice, but not rice. There you go. It's like rice with dirt in it. I can't believe that. Did you say for the first time? That wasn't the first time, was it? My grandparents used to feed that shit to me. They were very, 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 very health conscious people. So eating meals with them was like an adventure down the most dry rice cake, couscous, raw broccoli that you could imagine in the history of mankind. That was my youth, hanging out with my grandma and grandpa. But apparently, now, I wasn't around for this part of it. I have some siblings, and we're all several years apart in age. So, like, my two older siblings had a few years in their life where grandma and grandpa used to actually like make root beer floats for them and stuff. By the time I got around to being old enough, no, that was all over with. I never got the root beer floats. So like highlight for me, I'm trying to think, what was the highlight when I was growing up? When I would hang out with my grandma, she would buy a Totino's pizza, cheese, right? Just a cheese pizza. I don't know if they still make it or not. Man, I used to love those things. Remember the Totinas where the crust, on the bottom side of the crust was all those air pockets? Remember those? They were like small pizzas. They used to come in a cardboard box. I think the last time I saw them, they came in a plastic bag now. But anyways, she would buy one of those and then put vegetables from the garden on the pizza, right? So it would be like tomato slices with broccoli and beans on a cheese pizza. That cheese pizza was pretty good. The other thing that was fun to do, and every time I make the juice, I always think about doing it, but I don't because I don't know, I just don't. But I would always ask her if she would get frozen juice. So she'd get a thing of frozen juice, like here, let me grab one. Watch out, doggy. Excuse me, beast. Excuse me, little girl. I gotta get through. One of these, right? Oops, you just kicked my dog in the face. So back in the day, see, this is plastic, but back in the day, they were like a cardboard with a metal lid, and then a plastic band would come off, and we used to make the juice, and then I would drink from the container. That would be my cup, and she thought that was great, and I didn't mind. Like, it's just a container, man. Like, I don't give a shit. So yeah, pizza rolls, or Totino's pizzas with vegetables, and drinking from the juice container was like my youth with my grandma, and couscous, and all sorts of other weird shit. That's getting too hot. Let's see if the dog wants some French toast. Cut her up a couple slices here. Hey, Berta. Slow down, beast. Holy cow. Just lunging for it. Apparently the answer is yes. All right, let's get you back on the rug, dog. Come on. We're live on the internet. Can't have you flop on the floor like a goddamn squid. All right, stay there. Don't fall. Oh, okay. All right, she's into it. Let's feed the dog a piece of French toast. Oh, my poor dog. Life ain't easy when you're an old dog. I think she just had a birthday the other day. I think she started her 15 full years working on 16, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Which is crazy, but whatever. I'm not going to feed her off my plate because that's my plate. She gets the holiday plates. See? You know it's time to do dishes when you're down to the holiday plates. Oh, you got up off the floor all by yourself. Get on the rug, though. Let's see if we can get the dog munching down on some French toast. Well, that doesn't suck, does it? You old smelly old wet dog. Oh, how about I film nothing? I mean, she's still eating, so I guess you keep your dog around when it still eats. I guess. I don't know how it works. Anywho's, I think it's time for another refreshing, sparkling bubble. Let's see if we can do it right this time. You're doing it wrong. Perfection. Orange juice. Juice of an orange. Just a splash. right, what else is happening? Oh man, I feel like there's more great stories to be told. I'm just drawing a blank right now. Oh, she got up off the floor. Old lady still got it. If she really digs deep, she can still get off the slip floors. It's kind of a bit of a torture to watch happen, but she can still do it sometimes. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. I just started watching this new TV show. It's on Amazon Prime called Utopia. Has anybody seen that one yet? Jesus, that is a mind twister there. It's all about like what is it about? I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of feels like it's about what's happening in the real world a little bit, but not quite. You know, it's about conspiracies and shadow governments and like engineered bioweapons and sterilization of the planet to help. Yeah, it's all about that. Pretty wild. It makes you wonder, like, how much of that is like, can they do like in this TV show called Utopia? Once again, there's a group of people who were in a forum together, and they were talking about this manuscript, this graphic novel that was written by a crazy person who actually was like a scientist. And a second chapter came out, and like the powers that be don't want anyone to find out what's in that second chapter, so they're trying to get it. And one of the people from the forum got a copy of it, or got the copy of it, whatever. So there's hunting down this graphic novel, this manuscript. But like they know who's in the forum, and they're just trying to like catch them. You know, they got to get them in. So like, God, there's like hitmen that go into like a school, shoot a bunch of people up, and then they fake a video of like one of the people in the forum doing the shooting, and it's like the hitman wore rubber gloves with the fingerprints of the person. So it's like, whoa, is that shit real? Like, can you get rubber gloves that has someone else's fingerprints on there, so when you go do a crime, your fingerprints are everywhere? Apparently you can. It's just like, what the hell? It's crazy. Madness. The assassins in this show are so hilarious. Just stone cold assassins. But very professional, you know, like. He's like, we're gonna get the truth out of you. We're gonna start with hot chilies in your eyes. And they rub hot chilies in the guy's eyes, and you won't tell him the truth. All right, we're gonna do sand next. They rub sand in the guy's eyes after the chilies. All right, that didn't work. Now we're gonna rub powdered bleach in your eyes. They rub powdered bleach in his eyes, and it's like, now we're gonna use a spoon to dig one of your eyes out. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. I would recommend it. Utopia. It's just like, holy shit. And it's like, it's British, so it's like in England. Pretty funny. The general main the heroes, if you were, they're not even heroes, so that's the funny part. Like, there's no heroes in this show, but they're just like regular people who are like kind of like conspiracy people who are like kind of, for whatever reason, have a little knowledge. Like the one girl, her dad had this certain disease, so that's why she's in the forum, you know. And the other guy, he's like a total nutter, you know. Like he had like an underground survival bunker, and you know, the way it's just funny. Like everybody knows that. Like I'm trying to think what would be an example. Like you don't put cinnamon in your French toast because it'll make you go crazy. Everybody knows that. It's like, what? So great. It's kind of a dark show though. Like Makes you wonder what it's going to be like in a few, I don't know, 100 years, maybe like in 100 years. Like the whole philosophy or the whole not principle. The gist of the show is they're going to release they call it a Russian flu, and they're going to have everyone get a vaccine to protect from the Russian flu. This isn't real life. This is a TV show, right? But in this TV show, the scientists developed the vaccine to carry special inhibitors in it or whatever. Where like, I don't know, 10% of the people who take the vaccine won't have this problem based on junk DNA. But it sterilizes the whole planet. Everybody that takes it would be sterile. Then the guy figured out he can actually tailor it to a specific race of people if he wants to. I'm not going to spoil it, but like that's part of the big shtick. But it's pretty wild. And just like the interactions of like, I don't know what you would call them, like people that are not really in the club, right? The club that would be behind a nefarious thing like that. But you have a position in the government where like the only way for the plan to go forward is certain people have to do certain things. So it's like the way they blackmail them and make them do shit, and like how a dude wants nothing to do with it is all of a sudden like integral in it because of his particular job. And how crazy that gets, how layered, how fake everything is to trick him. That's pretty wild. I'd never heard of this show before. I was just blown away how good it was. There's 2 seasons of it. I think I'm down. I think I have the season finale left to watch. Of season 2. But, makes you wonder. Anyways, well, what was I going to say? Oh, they're talking about, they started like quoting statistics and shit. Because like, essentially, now, depends on your viewpoint in life, but essentially, the bad guys in this TV show, the ones that are doing the bad guy stuff, they're not trying to be bad guys. They're trying to realistically allow the human race to continue on the planet based on the population growth and the available resources. And like at one point, they're like starting to quote stuff, and the lady's like, "I'm not quoting goddamn Greenpeace. I'm quoting the people that produce this shit." Like, one of them was fertilizer, right? They're talking about fertilizer at the current rate and what would happen, how long they can continue the current rate of fertilizer production at the current rate, and if it doesn't increase, but it's going to increase because there's going to be more demand. They're like, yeah, no, you got 100 years of that left. It's like the oil, the oil is required, the natural gas is required. Like you can't do that for 500 years. We ain't got 500 years of that left. It's like, oh fuck, it's just kind of wild. It's like, oh, you recycle, do you? You recycle? And they start like, oh, you recycle and what was the other one they said people do? It's so fucking worthless. Oh, you signed a petition and you recycle? And then they just start screaming this shit that's going to happen no matter what you do or what you say. It's so funny. It's so great. Whatever. I'm sure it's going to work out. Right, what else is new? Oh, I feel so fucking fancy drinking out of one of these cups. I don't know if I can do any more French toast. Let's cook one for... Let's make a whole French toast for the dog. She decided to go to the other room and lay on the slick floors where it's hard for her to get up. Because, how else would you do it if you're a dog? I got... That room's got carpet, that room's got carpet, that room's got carpet, that room's a textured floor. I got all these floors that are dog friendly. And she spends the majority of her time just hanging out on the 2 floors in the house that she can't easily get up from because of, lack of leg strength. Because how else would you do it, I mean, you wouldn't want to do it easy. And I mean, my dog, I'm not going to say she was the smartest dog or is the smartest dog, but she wasn't a dummy, that's for sure. In the realm of dog, she was pretty smart for her abilities. But man, she cannot figure out floors. That ain't happening. That is a step beyond in the realm of dog abilities. How long have we been going for? 45 minutes? Jeez. I'll turn around for a second. Hey! You can come in. Oh, that's gonna break something. Whatever. Oh my god. Good times, good times, good times. I got that aimed up too high. I should turn my lights on. Hold on a second. Lights, please. Oh yeah, let's get some disco lights going. Do you guys know I had lights up there? Maybe it's up. Like a discotheque. Oh. I think it's kind of neat about this, the way these lights work, is if I lose power to the house and the power is restored, these lights will turn on. So if I walk into my kitchen and I see my lights, my disco lights are on, I know that I lost power during the day. Yeah, hold on. I can adjust them. We got the slow. I'm going to change colors. Yeah, so we can do the slow strobe there. It'll go through all the colors in the slow disco strobe, right? And then we got red on, green, just the slow flash there. Red, green, blue, white, I guess. Then we have just white, always on. Red, always on. Green, until I click the button, obviously. Color green there. I'm just clicking through. We have purple. A whitish there. Teal. Another purple. And off. Wasn't that fun? I go all the way around. I had enough to go around to the other side of the TV there. It goes all the way down to there. It's really weird. It's like it's just a wire and then like a blob of hard plastic with an LED embedded in it. It's like the craziest thing. I got them at that 50-cent store, treasure store. It was not a wad of just mangledness. Is there USB? I think it's USB. Yeah, it's a USB cable. I got it into an adapter underneath the microwave. I'm not sure why I decided to just do that right now. Good times! Alright, whatever. That might be the end of this. I feel like my beard is not even making it into the shot. Is that the thing? Is my beard too long? That's better. Alright. I think I'm going to go 50 minutes. I think that's enough. Enjoy your mimosas without alcohol, French toast, disabled comments, coffee mugs, and the rest. Until next time. Oh, we got five people watching now? Maybe I won't sign off, man. 5 people watching. I mean, I feel like I got to tell a joke or something. Huh. Think of a good joke real quick. I feel like I used to know a ton of jokes, and now I got like 2. Yeah, I can't even think of one right now. Oh, here we go. I think I've told this one before. What do you call a girl on a swing with no arms? What do you call a girl on a swing with no arms? Sarah. Knock, knock. Who's there? Not Sarah. How great is that? That's a terrible joke. I'm just watching my live stream because it's taking a second. Well, that's fun. That's fun right there, kids. I'm not sure if I'll get any reaction in the comments on that one. Hopefully no one in the comments has no arms. Whatever. That is hilarious. Oh, I gotta do laundry today. All right. I think that's the end. Cheers. Have a good week. Enjoy the disco lights. I'll catch you later. Where's the stuff on this thing? Peace.